I'm joined with Summer Vinson today, owner of Sol Pilates in Dundalk. Summer, thanks very much for doing this today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having
Yeah,
me.
taking the time out, you're probably busy enough as it is, but what is it about Pilates? Is this always something you've done throughout your life or?
Yes, I mean, actually, my first love in fitness was yoga. So when I was about 15, I kind of discovered yoga, always wanted to open a yoga studio. But my dad was like, do you want to be poor the rest of your life?
Yeah,
So went on to pursue other things. And then I discovered Pilates like 5 years ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I think reformer is something, it's so different in the fitness world. It's fun to do. And while you're doing it, you're not really feeling the same kind of level of dread that you do when
yeah,
you're weightlifting and that sort of thing. And so the results you get from it are also incredible. So I went from going to the gym and lifting about 6 days a week, maybe doing yoga once or twice, to only doing reformer. And that's when I was like, okay, this is
what you
the
enjoy, yeah.
yeah, this is what I really love. And so I got my certification a couple years ago, and we've now been open for 6 weeks.
Yeah, did you
So
have to go to college or anything for that, or was it just through courses?
no, so I went to college, but that was a whole nother lifetime,
Yeah,
business and all of that. But no, I originally got my yoga certification years back, and so I had the kind of basis for anatomy and all of that. And so I did a balanced body, which is like a internationally accredited reformer Pilates certification. So yeah, so it was a course, and you have to do all of the studies, the test out, the practice hours, all of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first studio you've opened?
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
And what are the challenges like opening a studio? Is it something different to what you used to?
um, yeah, I mean, I think it's you never quite expect all of the different hats you're going to wear, and I guess everybody talks about that. And you think when you're starting a business, you're going to have all of these responsibilities, but I think especially with something in the fitness world,
Yeah,
it's I wanted to be on the schedule so much, and I wanted to really build the community and get to know everybody and really make it feel like you're making connections. And so I've been on the schedule a ton, which I love, and I love teaching. But then it's your class planning, you're teaching, you're doing all of the admin, the marketing, the books, the payroll, everything.
yeah.
So I think it's just been finding that balance of juggling all the different things that you've got going on with also being a good teacher, and then also just with life in general,
Yeah.
being a good partner, and like still having the energy to take care of the house, and
Yeah, your
make time with your
personal stuff.
friends
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. When you open a studio like this, obviously the big thing is maybe the team you build as
Yes.
well. How do you go about maybe picking different people for a team?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the most important thing you do as a studio owner, is making sure you have a team that you can trust.
Yeah.
Because I guess for me, the one thing that I looked for more than anything else over experience or anything like that, obviously, all of the instructors that will ever work here will always be fully qualified and have their certifications. But the main thing that I look for is the energy.
Yeah.
And is this somebody that's going to help foster the community that I'm trying to build? Is this somebody that is going to greet people and say, hi, how are you? How was your weekend? And actually mean it.
Yeah.
And so everybody on the team is so fabulous. They're all people, which is great. And yeah, obviously very highly skilled, and all have done all of their certifications. They're continuing their courses and know how to modify or progress people along. So one of my biggest things is teaching the bodies that are in front of me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have a class plan in my head, but if I have a group and it's like, okay, I know that they're maybe ready for a little extra challenge, or okay, this person, I know they have a little bit of issues with their lower back. And so really knowing just how to modify for the people that are in front of you and make it accessible and still a little bit challenging for everyone.
Yeah. So just for maybe younger women out there who maybe have their certifications and
Yeah.
all, would you recommend, in order to stand out, just the little things, to focus on the little things, maybe how you deal with clients, how you deal with people?
Absolutely. I think, the most important thing is just being genuine and having a passion for Pilates, but also just being a nice person. And,
general,
I
yeah.
think being an instructor, you have to show up every single day and you have to give energy even when you have nothing left to give yourself,
Yeah.
and if you're having a bad day, like you leave that at the door. And so I think just, putting yourself out there, showing your real personality, and because like not everybody is cut out for it. Some people love doing Pilates, but then they wouldn't enjoy teaching. So I think it's just, if you're trying to stand out, just showcase your personality. Of course, if you're, knowledgeable, then that's a big part of it. And just if you actually have a genuine care for people and for showing people what Pilates is all about and how amazing it can be and all of the benefits and all of that.
100%. Obviously, the move from America over to Ireland can be maybe daunting. It's a big change, the weather and all. Was there any dates for you coming over? Or
You know what? I wouldn't say that I had doubts about it. I probably just didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah.
So I've traveled a lot. I grew up in Ocean City, Maryland. I lived in Florida for years. That's where I went to school. And then I worked on cruise ships. So I kind of lived all over. I lived on a boat, and for years and kind of just went everywhere. So I was never afraid of living somewhere new. I guess I never really pictured myself living in Ireland long term before I met my partner. So I guess it just kind of happened. And you know what? Like, I love it. It's a beautiful place. Do I miss the sunny weather in Florida sometimes? Yeah, but you know what? Like, it's just, that's life. And you can always travel other places. And so I'm very grateful that we get to live here. And it's just such a nice community of people. And
Yeah.
So.
In terms of your goals for Sol Pilates, where do you maybe see it going in the next 5 years? Do you see yourself with another studio maybe, or maybe
I would
expanding
say
out?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
The goal is definitely to expand. I think it's been so incredible building this up. And I mean, we did actually build this whole studio. So like we did all the work ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, I think it would be really exciting to do that again and to just build this little kind of connection of people all over. So, the goal would definitely be to expand, when the time is right and, when you can really give your all to that location, I think is my biggest thing. Like I think I'm all for expanding quickly as long as you can really be present for each of those.
It doesn't lose your...
Exactly. Doesn't lose what makes it special. And I think, we have that kind of luxurious aspect to it. So like, of course I'd want to keep that. But again, and I think community is such a buzzword, especially in the Pilates industry, but it's so true. And like seeing the people that walked in on day one and had never done Pilates before in their life and have now come 2, 3 times a week, become regulars, and just seeing them get so much stronger and more confident and be able to do more dynamic moves. And it's just so incredible. But also just after class when everybody's, putting their shoes back on and chatting, and it's so cool. Like you really do have that level of connection that, you don't really get in a gym per se, or even like a big yoga class, say you have 30 people, it's different because we only have 8 reformers, so it's boutique, it's intimate, and
it's small, it's cozy.
Yeah.
Just on the design of the place, did you see this yourself, or did you get inspiration off other people maybe?
Honestly, this was my exact vision board.
Really?
So I went into Canva. I mean, as soon as we saw this space, I was like, okay, I can see exactly how everything is going to be laid out. And I think, of course, you're flicking through Instagram, you see all these other studios. I think you kind of pick up on things that you really like. Like for me, I knew I wanted backlit mirrors. I knew I wanted an arch. Like I think, I don't know, that was a non-negotiable for me. And I knew I wanted a cool ceiling because so many times, like so much of Pilates, you're laying on your back, staring at the ceiling. And I could not get over when you go to a studio and they just have an ugly ceiling. And I was like, So I think a lot of things as well were just, I knew what I liked and disliked about studios. And for me, another thing, we only have 8 reformers because it is so necessary to have enough space in between each, to not be hitting people with your arms, or we always end with our feet in straps, and it's the nicest stretch ever. But when you're stretching out and you're thinking, am I going to hit the person next to me? Like you lose a little point of luxury, you know? And so a lot of it was just kind of seeing things and gathering things that I liked. And yeah, I went onto Canva and literally picked out the ball of balls. Every little bit of this studio, I've pinpointed exactly. And, you know, it's incredible to see it actually here. Like I pinch myself every day.
Yeah, it looks very well as well.
Thank you.
Just when you're coming over to a new place, new people, new environment, how do you maybe market a new sort of product to people, a new activity?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, very grateful for social media. I think it offers so many opportunities, and it just makes marketing, it's a whole different ballgame. So, I mean, a lot of it was just kind of building the hype through that. It was talking to people. It was just getting the word out. We did a newspaper article, you know, some of the old school stuff. We joined Facebook groups. But I think the majority of it was just doing some posts on Instagram or whatever, and then the word of mouth. So it's talking to people saying, hey, we're opening this new studio. Have you ever tried Pilates before? And just getting to know people in the community, having conversations. And yeah, it's been great.
Because a lot of people might neglect that sort of word of mouth sort of phase or whatever, because they focus maybe too much on social media.
Right, of course.
How important was the word of mouth and just talking to people in general?
Oh, huge. I mean, the first thing that we did as soon as we could was put a big banner on the back of the building, coming soon, Sol Pilates. And so just that in general was kind of like having our own billboard. You know, it's right in the center of town, right across from the marshes. So everybody kind of, I think, either saw that, and then that probably led them to our social media. But just going around, I mean, I went to all of the salons around and just the coffee shops and the kind of places that would be our typical demographic. And I talked to the owners and the people there and said, hey, we're opening a Pilates studio. And so I think that was huge.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have any advice maybe for the younger generation come through of women who are into the fitness industry but don't quite know how to pursue it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't listen to anybody that tells you you can't do it or no, or you're crazy, because so many people, when I said I was going to open a Pilates studio, especially, you know, in Ireland, were like, what are you talking about? You know, like, do you really think you can just do that? And it'll be like, how do you know it's going to work? How do you know it'll be successful? And I think I always just knew. I think, again, my dream growing up was always to have a little yoga studio. And then obviously that kind of shifted. But as soon as I had my heart set on, okay, it's going to be a reformer Pilates studio, as soon as I saw this space, as soon as it started coming together, I always just knew that it would work. And I think it's just when you have something that you truly believe can work and can happen and be successful, follow that. And it's going to be hard. Opening a business is not easy. It's long hours. Your brain is on literally 24/7 with all of the tasks you have to do, everything there is to just, how can I make this better? How can I, you know, maximize my time? And you're always thinking about the numbers and the success and all of that. But I think just don't listen to anybody that says you can't do it. Go for it. And especially if you feel like you know it's going to work, then just believe in that. And
I love that.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to end the interview off on a would you rather question.
Okay.
So would you rather not do any sort of fitness or Pilates for full year?
Okay.
Or not listen to any music for full year?
Oh, God. No fitness, so no Pilates or like any other types as well.
Ooh, no Pilates. You can do other things, just no Pilates.
Or no music. Yeah. Oh my God. That is a really tough one. This might be a controversial answer, but I think I'd have to say no Pilates.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It pains me to say, but I am a music person through and through. I am the type, I need sound 24/7. Like I'm not a person that can just sit and eat dinner in silence.
Yeah.
So as much as it pains me, I think I'd have to go no Pilates. And I think I'd just sneak in, you know, some yoga, some weightlifting.
Yeah, you'd get it in somewhere,
Yeah.
So thanks very much for doing this. Thanks very
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
taking the time, and best luck with everything for the rest of the
Thank
year.
you.
Always.